I'm back. Oh, now you want to bring up Jesus. I mean, what's his name? Jacob, Israel. Now we bringing up Israel. Hey. Hey, Tammy. Her icon. Oh, her Doka. I don't know if I like that. So do I want to start with the topic or start with Diddy? Why they saying Diddy may be pardoned? I'm going to start with the young lady. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, hey, hey. And who was it? Was it Sly? Dang it, I can't remember who asked me for Enoch. If time permits, we're going to tap into Enoch as well. Y'all ready to go on in since it's so late in the midnight hour? Late in the midnight hour, God's going to turn it around. It's going to work in your favor. Late in the midnight hour.
I never thought that I would ever be burying my child. I never.
Bless Lord.
I never thought that.
Bless
I
Lord.
thought my kids would be burying him.
Oh Lord. Okay, so y'all, this is the 17-year-old. Hey Janet. Hey Precious. I didn't see you coming in. I'm gonna jump right on in, and if time allows. Janet, do you remember who asked me? I know we don't, child. We interact with people all the time. I don't. It wasn't long. It was somebody who was giving me a hard time. Asked me, did I have Enoch when we was going through the Israel? I think he didn't. I don't know what he thought, but I got it. So this is the young lady, 17 years old. She went missing, they say, about 3 weeks ago. London Thomas, her boyfriend, and his mom stood before the judge today. Her boyfriend, Lord. Now, I have not followed. I have not done any research. I didn't even really look at it because I wanted to share that with the tea sippers tonight, Friday night, for us to watch it and react to it together, if that's okay. Is that all right with y'all? Can we do this together? Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back. She was found in a bin. I don't know what type of mama his mama was. She would be right back. Yeah, I had to go and share it out since I don't get a lot of people that share my live. I have to share it myself. You know what they say, if you want something done, I guess sometimes you gotta what? Do it yourself. Okay, so we're gonna check this out. We're gonna react to it together. I have no details. I don't know anything. I just know that the mother of her boyfriend and her boyfriend, I don't know what type of boyfriend that was. I don't know the details, but we're gonna follow it together and we're gonna go through the case together like we have done the other ones. Is that okay? Let's go. 17-year-old London Thomas. She was missing for 3 weeks and she was found in a plastic bin. Lord have mercy. Condolences to the family. Full justice for London.
I never thought that I would ever be burying my child. I never thought that. I thought my kids would be burying him.
What is the world coming to, y'all? Pretty young lady.
April 26, 2025, Southfield, Michigan. Police officers stand in front of an SUV parked in a quiet driveway. Inside the vehicle sits a sealed plastic bin. Nobody knows what's inside, but when they open it, they find something so terrifying, the body of 17-year-old London Thomas, a girl who vanished 3 weeks ago without a trace. But here's where this case gets even darker. The person who helped hide London's body in that bin? It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't some random accomplice. It was the mother of the man accused of killing her. A mother who allegedly looked investigators in the eye and lied to protect her son. This is the story of a teenage girl who trusted the wrong person, a family torn apart by unimaginable loss, and a cover-up so cold, so calculated, that it took 6 months and multiple law enforcement agencies to crack.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
And I'm Terrence Friday. It's been 6 months since Thomas was killed. Now both Charlotte Pendergrass and her son Jalen are facing serious charges for her death.
What really happened to London Thomas? And how far will a mother go to protect her child, even when that child may be a killer? Welcome to Crazy Dark Files, where we uncover the truth behind the cases that shake us to our core. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to bringing you the most compelling true crime stories, cases that need to be told, victims who deserve justice, and families who refuse to give up. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. Before we dive deep into London's story, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what state or country are you watching from? And have you heard about the London Thomas case before today? Let me know in the comments. Now let's go back to where this nightmare began. Back to a 17-year-old girl with her whole life ahead of her. Back to April 5th, 2025, at 4 o'clock in the morning, when London Thomas made a decision that cost her life. London was 17 years old, just 17. She was a senior in high school, counting down the days until graduation. She had her prom dress picked out. She had plans for her future. She had dreams that were just starting to take shape. If you looked at London, one of the first things you'd notice was the colorful butterfly tattoo on the left side of her neck. Bright, beautiful, a symbol of transformation and freedom. Her friends said it fit her personality perfectly. London grew up in the Detroit area. She went to Beach Elementary School and later Hilbert Middle School. The people who knew her during those years remember a girl who was always smiling, always working hard, always making people laugh. But the people who knew London best were her family. Her father, Cedric Salisbury, was her rock. They talked every single day. "Me and my daughter are like this," he said, holding up 2 fingers pressed together. "She called me for everything. Everything. Big decisions, small problems, random thoughts." London didn't go a day without calling her dad. And then there was her grandmother, Justina Martin. London had a special bond with her too. Just days before she disappeared, London called her grandmother, asking for pizza money. Tristina gave her $20. It was such a normal moment. The kind of moment families have every day, without thinking twice about it. London had a habit that her grandmother will never forget. She would call and say, "Grandma, I love you." Just like that, out of nowhere. Not because she needed anything, just because she wanted her grandmother to know, "I miss talking to my grandbaby." Justina said months later, her voice breaking. "I got her pictures all over my personality perfectly." London grew up in the Detroit area. She went to Beach Elementary School and later Hilbert Middle School. The people who knew her during those years remember a girl who was always smiling, always working hard, always making people laugh. But the people who knew London's personality perfectly. London grew up in the Detroit area.
Hey,
she went
Renee.
to Beach Elementary School and later Hilbert Middle School. The people who knew her during those years remember a girl who was always smiling, always working hard, always making people laugh. But the people who knew London best were her family. Her father, Cedric. They talked every single day. Me and my dog, he said, holding up 2 fingers pressed together. She called me for everything. Everything. Big decisions, small problems, random thoughts. London didn't go a day without calling her dad. And then there was her grandmother, Justina Martin. London had a special bond with her too. Just days before she disappeared, London called her grandmother, asking for pizza money. Tristina gave her $20. It was such a normal moment. The kind of moment families have every day without thinking twice about it.
Who would do
London
this?
had
Well,
a
we
habit
know
that
who.
her grandmother will never forget. She would call and say, "Grandma, I love you." Just like that, out of nowhere. Not because she needed anything, just because she wanted her grandmother to know, "I miss talking to my grandbaby," Justina said months later, her voice breaking. I got her pictures all over my house. London's friends described her as smart and hardworking.
She was so smart. You know what I mean? She was so hardworking. You know, she always had a job. Like, usually not even the type to cry. And I'm like, I was crying in tears last night. These young girls out here got so much ahead of them. She was graduating, going to prom. I feel like she had so much ahead of her. She graduates this year, next month actually. She was supposed to graduate with me. Yeah, and it's just sad that, you know, all her life is taken away from her.
She wasn't the type to just coast through life. She put in the effort. She cared about doing things right. One friend said, she had so much ahead of her. She was graduating, going to prom. It's just sad that all her life was taken away from her. London Thomas was dating someone her family didn't approve of.
Babe, well, you know, you can't always... but why didn't they approve of him? He looks older. The family did not approve of him. Wow. Okay, let's listen.
Yeah, and it's just sad that, you know, all her life is taken away from her.
She wasn't the type to just coast through life. She put in the effort. She cared about doing things right. One friend said, she had so much ahead of her. She was graduating, going to prom. It's just sad that all her life was taken away from her. London Thomas was dating someone her family didn't approve of. His name was Jalen Pendergrast. He was 23 years old. Remember, London was only 17. That's a 6-year age gap. It might not sound like much, but think about it. Jalen was a grown man.
Ain't that
London was still
statutory?
in high school. He could legally drink. She couldn't even vote yet. He had years of adult experience.
Wow.
She was still figuring out who she was. London's family knew about the relationship, and they weren't happy. According to them, London wasn't supposed to be dating Jalen at all. But like many teenagers, London...
That boy looked old as hell.
She was still...
He looked old and deranged. Well, not deranged, but
she couldn't even
special.
vote yet. He had years of adult experience.
He looked special. Wow.
She was still figuring out who she was. London's family knew about the relationship, and they weren't happy. According to them, London wasn't supposed to be dating Jalen at all. But like many teenagers, London did it anyway.
Sneaking.
Here's the problem. The family didn't know much about him. They didn't know his background. They didn't know what kind of person he really was. And that lack of knowledge would turn out to be deadly. Prosecutors would later reveal something crucial about this relationship. By the time London showed up at Jalen's house on April 5th, the relationship had ended. They had broken up. So why was London going to see him at 4 in the morning? Was she trying to get closure? Was she picking up her things? Was he asking her to come over one last time? In September 2021, a woman came forward on TikTok with a shocking allegation. She said that Jalen Pendergrast had sexually assaulted her. Not once, multiple times. She called him her rapist. She said the assaults happened. So why was London going to see him at 4 in the morning? Was she trying to get closure? Was she picking up her things? Was he asking her to come over one last time? In September 2021, a woman came forward on TikTok with a shocking allegation. She said that Jalen Pendergrass had sexually assaulted her. Not once, multiple times. She called him her rapist. She said the assaults happened in an area very close to where London's phone would later ping after her disappearance. When London went missing, this same woman posted videos trying to warn people. She was terrified that the man who hurt her had now hurt someone else. She wanted people to know who Jalen really was. Now, it's important to say that these were allegations. Jalen was never convicted of those crimes. But the woman's fear was
Please
real.
come in, hitting the like
warning
button.
was real, and it raises a terrifying question. Was there a pattern here?
Absolutely.
Was London just the latest one else? She wanted people to know who Jalen really was. Now, it's important to say that these were allegations. Jalen was never convicted of those crimes. But the woman's fear was real. Her warning was real, and it raises a terrifying question. Was there a pattern here? Was London just the latest young woman to trust Jalen Pendergrass? And if the relationship had ended, what happened when London showed up that morning to face him one last time? Because here's what we know about dangerous relationships. The most dangerous time for a victim is when they try to leave.
Absolutely.
When they try to end it. When they try to take back control. London Thomas walked into that house at 4 a.m. on April 5th, 2025. She would never walk out. It was early. Really early.
So she went to his house?
On April 5th, 2025. They tried to take back control. London Thomas walked into that house at 4 a.m. on April 5th, 2025. She would never walk out. It was early. Really early. 4 o'clock in the morning on April 5th, 2025, London Thomas asked her sister for a favor. She needed a ride to Jalen's place. Her sister agreed. She drove London to the 27,260 block of Carlisle Street in Inkster, Michigan. It was a residential area, quiet, the kind of neighborhood where people mind their own business. London was wearing pink Croc shoes, black leggings, and a dark-colored hoodie. Casual, comfortable. She probably thought she'd be home in a few hours. Her sister dropped her off and drove away. That was the last time anyone saw London Thomas alive. Hours passed. Then a full day. London didn't come home. She didn't call. She didn't text. Nothing. Her sister knew something was wrong immediately. On April 5th, the same day she dropped London off, she reported her missing to the Inkster Police Department. The next day, April 6th, London's mother also filed a missing person report with the Detroit police. London still hadn't come home. She still hadn't made contact with anyone. For a girl who called her father every single day, this was terrifying. Cedric Salisbury, London's father, was in a panic. "Me and my daughter are like this," he told reporters, pressing two fingers together. "She called me for everything. This is not normal behavior for her." London's grandmother, Justina Martin, felt the same dread. Just days earlier, she had talked to London. She had given her $20 for pizza. Everything seemed fine, normal. And now, silence. "She would have called me or her father," Justina said. There was no doubt in her mind. If London was okay, she would have called. But then investigators discovered something strange. Something that made this case even more suspicious. London's phone. It was pinging, but not at Jalen's house on Carlisle Street, where she was dropped off. It was pinging at Cooper Elementary School in Westland, Michigan. A completely different location. Why was her phone there? Did someone take it there? Did someone dump it there to throw off investigators? Or was London taken there against her will? The family tracked the phone's location themselves. They went to the elementary school. They searched the area. They couldn't find the phone physically, but they knew it had been there. This was the moment the family realized London wasn't just missing. She was in danger. Cedric Salisbury would later say, "I can't do nothing without my daughter. It's been the hardest thing I ever had to face in my life." But at that moment, on April 5th and 6th, the family still had hope. They still believed they could find her. They still believed she might come home. They had no idea that London was already gone. and they had no idea that her body was being hidden in one of the most disturbing ways imaginable. Cedric Salisbury wasn't going to sit around and wait. His daughter was missing, and he was going to find her. "I've been out days looking by myself," he said. "No help, no nothing." But soon, he wouldn't be alone. The family organized search parties. They printed flyers with London's picture. They posted on social media. They reached out to everyone they knew and even people they didn't know. And the community responded. Friends showed up. Family members showed up. And then something amazing happened. Strangers started showing up. People who had never met London or her family. People who just saw the posts on Facebook and wanted to help. People who believed that every missing person deserves to be found. The idea that London was already gone, and they had no idea that her body was being hidden in one of the most disturbing ways imaginable. Cedric Salisbury wasn't going to sit around and wait. His daughter was missing, and he was going to find her. "I've been out days looking by myself," he said. "No help, no nothing." But soon, he wouldn't be alone. The family organized search parties. They printed flyers with London's picture. They posted on social media. They reached out to everyone they knew and even people they didn't know. And the community responded. Friends showed up. Family members showed up. And then something amazing happened. Strangers started showing up. People who had never met London or her family. People who just saw the posts on Facebook and wanted to help. People who believed that every missing person deserves to be found. Cedric was overwhelmed. "I don't even have a social media presence," he said. "So it just took me by surprise." Everybody came together. It was heartwarming and it was a blessing. The search focused on the area near Cooper Elementary School in Westland, where London's phone had last pinged. Volunteers combed through woods. They searched wetlands. They checked abandoned trailers. They looked in places most people wouldn't want to go. One volunteer described the scene. "There's a lot of woods. A lot of Royal Cemetery is definitely creepy." But they kept searching. Day after day. Week after week. London's grandmother, Justina, made an emotional plea to the public. "I just want whoever got her to return her, or let us know where she at." Cedric spoke directly to London, hoping somehow she could hear him. "I'm trying. I'm looking so hard to find you. I love you. Please, call me and let me know you're okay." But there was no call, no text, no sign of London. The flyers went up all over the Detroit area. London's face was everywhere. Her description was shared thousands of times online. The butterfly tattoo on her neck, the pink Crocs, the black leggings, the dark hoodie. People were looking. People cared. But as the days turned into weeks, hope started to fade. The family could feel it. That sinking feeling that maybe, just maybe, London wasn't coming home. Still, they didn't stop. They couldn't stop. Cedric said it best. "We're not going to quit." The community stood with them. Vigils were held. Prayers were said. People who had never met London felt connected to her story. They felt the family's pain. And through it all, one question haunted everyone. Where is London Thomas? The answer was closer than anyone realized, and it was more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. Take a moment and imagine being in Cedric's shoes. Your daughter is missing. You're searching day after
17 years old, boyfriend 23. They still, at this point, they hadn't said nothing about him, had they? Other than she wasn't supposed to have been dating him, and that he was a possible serial apist. Okay.
After day, not knowing if she's alive or dead, not knowing if she's scared, hurt, or calling out for you. Every minute feels like an hour. Every hour feels like a lifetime. What would you do? How far would you go to find answers? If this case is hitting you the way it's hitting me, do me a favor. Hit that like button right now. It helps us bring attention to cases like London's that deserve justice. It helps us make sure her story is heard. And drop a comment below. Do you think the family suspected the boyfriend from the beginning? What would you have done in their situation? April 7th, 2025. 2 days after London Thomas disappeared, while her family was printing flyers and organizing search parties, something else was happening. Something cold, something calculated. Charla Pendergrass, Jalen's 49-year-old mother, picked up her phone and made a call. She called a male friend, someone she trusted, someone who wouldn't ask too many questions. She had a favor to ask. Can you help me move a sealed plastic bin? That's it. That's all she said. A sealed plastic bin. She didn't say what was inside. She didn't explain why she needed help. She just asked if he could move it for her. And here's the thing that still haunts this case. The friend said yes, no questions asked. He agreed to help. Think about that for a second. A sealed bin, unknown contents. And he just agreed. 4 days later, on April 11th, the friend showed up. He picked up the bin. Prosecutors say he transported it to a home on Millard Street in Southfield. He carried it to an SUV parked in the driveway. He placed the bin inside.
It didn't smell?
Then he left. The bin sat there, sealed, hidden in plain sight, parked in a driveway like it was nothing, like it was just another piece of junk someone was storing in their car. But inside that bin was London Thomas, a 17-year-old girl who had been missing for 6 days. A girl whose father was walking through woods calling her name. A girl whose grandmother was praying for a miracle. And while the family searched, that bin just sat there, day after day, week after week. Meanwhile, law enforcement was starting to close in. The FBI got involved. This wasn't just a local missing person case anymore. Multiple agencies were working together now. Inkster Police, Detroit Police, the FBI, Michigan State Police. They were all coordinating, sharing information, building a case, and their focus kept coming back to one person. Jalen Pendergrass, the boyfriend. The last person to see London alive. The man whose house she went to at 4 a.m. and never left. Investigators wanted to talk to him. They had questions. Lots of questions. But Jalen wasn't cooperating. He was evasive. He wasn't giving them straight answers. London's family could see it too. They knew something was wrong. They knew he was hiding something. London's aunt spoke to reporters, and you could hear the frustration in her voice. All of these lies just to push us away from what we're trying to do. What did you do with her?
Hey, Ronald.
You
Hey,
were the
doggy,
last person
doggy.
seen with her. It was a simple question, a fair question. If you're innocent, if you have nothing to hide, why not just tell the truth? Why not help the family find her? But Jalen stayed quiet.
She was 17.
And his mother Charla stayed quiet too, because they both knew something the family didn't know yet. They knew exactly where London was. They knew she wasn't coming home. They knew that sealed plastic bin sitting in that SUV in Southfield held the answer to everyone's questions. And they were doing everything they could to make sure no one found out. Nearly 2 weeks after London disappeared, law enforcement made their move. FBI agents, ATF officers, Inkster Police, and possibly Detroit Police descended on Carla Street, the street where Jalen Pendergrass lived, the street where London was last seen. They had search warrants. They were going inside. Neighbors watched as officers surrounded the house. Vehicles blocked the street. This wasn't a casual visit. This was serious. Investigators were looking for evidence. DNA evidence, electronic evidence, anything that could tell them what happened to London Thomas. They extracted data from phones, text messages, call logs, digital footprints that could reveal the truth. And according to reports, they found something. Concerning information, they called it. Information that made them believe something terrible had happened in that house. They collected evidence, they bagged it, they documented everything. They were building a case. London's family watched from a distance, hoping this would finally give them answers, hoping this would bring London home. Her stepfather, Darnell Johnson, had suspected Jalen and his mother from the beginning. It's always been heavy on my mind that they were involved somehow, some way, he said. Now it seemed like investigators felt the same way. The walls were closing in on Jalen Pendergrass. The evidence was mounting. The timeline was becoming clearer. But there was still one massive problem. London was still missing. The raid gave investigators evidence. It gave them probable cause. It gave them reasons to believe a crime had been committed, but it didn't give them London. And that's the question that hung in the air as officers left the house that day, carrying bags of evidence to their vehicles. Is London Thomas still alive? Deep down, everyone knew the answer, but no one wanted to say it out loud, because saying it out loud would make it real.
Yeah.
And as long as there was even the smallest sliver of hope, the family held on to it. They prayed, they waited, they hoped for a miracle, but miracles don't always come. April 26, 2025. 3 weeks after London Thomas disappeared, the friend who moved the sealed plastic bin couldn't take it anymore. His conscience was eating him alive.
So how did he
He knew
know?
something was wrong. He knew he had to speak up. He contacted Inkster police. He told them everything. About the phone call from Charla Pendergrass, about the sealed bin, about transporting it to Millard Street in Southfield, about placing it in the SUV. Investigators didn't waste a second. Police, FBI agents, and Michigan State Police rushed to the Southfield address. They pulled up to the house. They saw the SUV in the driveway, the same SUV the friend had described. They approached the vehicle. They opened the door, and there it was, the sealed plastic bin, sitting in the back. It had been there for 2 weeks, just sitting there, waiting to be found. Officers carefully opened the bin.
Yeah.
Inside was London Thomas, the 17-year-old girl who had been missing for 21 days. The girl whose father had walked through woods calling her name. The girl whose grandmother had prayed every night for her safe return. She was gone. The medical examiner was called to the scene. An autopsy was performed. The findings were heartbreaking. Cause of death, asphyxia. Exfil means oxygen deprivation. It means someone or something stopped London.
No, wait, I had my head down. What you say?
Was wrong. He knew he had to speak up. He contacted Inkster police. He told them everything. About the phone call from Charla Pendergrass, about the sealed bin, about transporting it to Millard Street in Southfield, about placing it in the SUV. Investigators didn't waste a second. Police, FBI agents, and Michigan State Police rushed to the Southfield address. They pulled up to the house. They saw the SUV in the driveway, the same SUV the friend had described. They approached the vehicle. They opened the door, and there it was, the sealed plastic bin, sitting in the back. It had been there for 2 weeks, just sitting there, waiting to be found. Officers carefully opened the bin. Inside was London Thomas, the 17-year-old girl who had been missing for 21 days. The girl whose father had walked through woods calling her name. The girl whose grandmother had prayed every night for her safe return. She was gone. The medical examiner was called to the scene. An autopsy was performed. The findings were heartbreaking. Cause of death, asphyxia. Exfil means oxygen deprivation. It means someone or something stopped London from breathing. It could have been strangulation. It could have been suffocation. Either way, it was violent. It was intentional. The manner of death was ruled a homicide. London Thomas had been murdered. When the family got the news, their worst nightmare became reality. The hope they had been clinging to for 3 weeks was gone. London wasn't coming home. She would never call her father again. She would never tell her grandmother, "I love you," again. The community was devastated. Friends who had helped search for London were now mourning her. One friend said, she was graduating, going to prom. She had so much ahead of her, 17 years old, her whole life ahead of her, and someone took it all away. Someone killed her. Someone sealed her body in a plastic bin. Someone asked a friend to move that bin to a different location. Someone let her family search for weeks, knowing exactly where she was. That level of cruelty is hard to comprehend. But it's the reality of what happened to London Thomas. And now, investigators had a body. They had evidence. They had a timeline. It was time to bring charges. In May 2025, about a month after London's body was found, police made an arrest. Charla Pendergrass, Jalen's mother, was taken into custody. She was charged with lying to a peace officer in a violent crime investigation. Here's what she lied about. Charla told investigators that she saw London leave the...
So this heifer lied. He was quiet. He wouldn't cooperate, but she cooperated by lying misinformation to throw them off of her ratchet serial apist son.
Someone killed her. Someone sealed her body in a plastic bin. Someone asked a friend to move that bin to a different location. Someone let her family search for weeks, knowing exactly where she was. That level of cruelty is hard to comprehend. But it's the reality of what happened to London Thomas. And now, investigators had a body. They had evidence. They had a timeline. It was time to bring charges. In May 2025, about a month after London's body was found, police made an arrest. Charla Pendergrass, Jalen's mother, was taken into custody. She was charged with lying to a peace officer in a violent crime investigation. Here's what she lied about. Charla told investigators that she saw London leave the Inkster home on April 5th. She said London walked out. She said London left alive, but phone records told a different story. Video footage told a different story. London never left that house alive. Charla Pendergrass looked investigators in the eye and lied.
Hey, Mrs. Tom.
She tried to cover up what happened to London. She tried to protect her son. The evidence was clear. Phone records don't lie. Video footage doesn't lie. The case seemed solid. The family finally felt like justice was coming. But then, in August 2025, something unbelievable happened. The charges against Charla Pendergrass were dismissed. The reason? A legal technicality. Charla had lied to an FBI agent. But according to Michigan law, an FBI agent is not considered a peace officer. The statute defines peace officers as local and state law enforcement. Federal agents don't fit that definition. So even though Charla clearly lied, even though the evidence proved she lied, the charge couldn't move forward. The case was thrown out. Imagine being London's family in that moment. Imagine watching the person who helped cover up your daughter's murder walk free because of a technicality, because of a legal definition. The frustration was unbearable. The anger was overwhelming. But investigators weren't giving up. They knew Charla was involved. They knew Jalen was involved.
Please come in hitting the like button. I would greatly appreciate it.
A case that couldn't
just
be
double tap the face of your phone or hit the thumbs up.
Countless hours of investigation, going through evidence, interviewing witnesses, building a timeline, connecting the dots. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy and her team were determined. The Michigan State Police were determined. The FBI was determined. Justice for London Thomas was delayed, but it wasn't denied.
Thank you,
Not
Lord.
yet. October 16th, 2025. 6 months after London Thomas was killed, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy stood before the media and announced the charges everyone had been waiting for. Jalen Pendergrass, 23 years old, of Inkster, charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Charla Pendergrass, 49 years old, of Clawson, charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Both of them, mother and son, both accused. 6 months after London Thomas was killed, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy stood before the media and announced the charges everyone had been waiting for. Jalen Pendergrass, 23 years old, of Inkster, charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Charla Pendergrass, 49 years old, of Clawson, charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Both of them, mother and son, both accused of murdering London Thomas and covering it up. Both were taken into custody, and if convicted, both face up to life in prison. Prosecutor Worthy didn't hold back. "I am proud of the excellent work that has been done in this case," she said. "It has taken countless hours of investigation and diligent work by the Michigan State Police, the Detroit Police Department, and the FBI. As a result of that work, we have been able to charge and bring the perpetrators of this cruel and deadly crime to justice." Cruel and deadly, that's exactly what it was. So what evidence did investigators have? What convinced prosecutors to finally bring murder charges? First, There was the friend's testimony. The man who moved the sealed plastic bin. He told police everything. About Charla's phone call, about transporting the bin to Southfield, about placing it in the SUV. His testimony was crucial. Then there were the phone records. London's phone pinged in Westland, not Inkster. That proved something was very wrong. It proved London didn't just leave Jalen's house and go home. There was video evidence, footage that contradicted Charla's story about seeing London leave the house alive. There was DNA evidence collected during the FBI raid, evidence that tied the suspects to the crime. And there was electronic evidence, text messages, call logs, digital footprints that painted a picture of what really happened. All of it together built a case strong enough to charge both Jalen and Charla with murder. The next day, October 17th, 2025, both defendants were arraigned at the 22nd District Court in Inkster. They appeared before a judge. The charges were read. Bond was set, and through their attorneys, both Jalen and Charla maintained their innocence. Jalen's attorney, Adam Clements, told reporters, "I hope people will let the evidence play itself out and respect the process." Charla's attorney, Terry L. Johnson, questioned the evidence.
Okay, y'all, I keep asking for y'all to double tap the face of your phone if you're on the phone, or hit the thumbs up. It's 200 and some people in here. I need y'all to hit the like button for me, please. I'm not moving forward until the lights go up. I'm sorry. It's free. It don't cost you anything. Now, if you want to send a super chat or a super sticker, I'll move it up faster. Super chat, super sticker. I pin my Cash App if you'd like to send a Cash App and support the platform. All you have to do is double tap the face of your phone. That's the cheap. That's the quickest option. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start it back, but I need for y'all to continue to hit the like button.
And the timing of the charges. But for London's family, none of that mattered. 17th, 2025, both defendants were arraigned at the 22nd District Court in Inkster. They appeared before a judge. The charges were read. Bond was set, and through their attorneys, both Jalen and Charla maintained their innocence. Jalen's attorney, Adam Clements, told reporters, "I hope people will let the evidence play itself out and respect the process." Charla's attorney...
Evidence? You had somebody come pick up the bin. And she was in the bin. That's evidence. I mean, I don't know what else you think is going...
L. Johnson questioned the evidence and the timing of the charges. But for London's family, none of that mattered. After 6 months of waiting, after the frustration of seeing charges dismissed on a technicality, they finally had what they've been praying for. Accountability. Grandmother Justina Martin spoke for the entire family when she said, "I want justice for my granddaughter. I want them to get the maximum penalty they can get. The legal process is just beginning. There will be court hearings, there will be a trial. The defense will present their case, the prosecution will present theirs. But for now, London's family can take a breath. They can know that the people accused of taking their daughter, their granddaughter, their baby girl away from them are being held accountable. Justice for London Thomas is finally within reach. The pain of losing London Thomas will never go away. Her family knows that. They live with it every single day. Stepfather Darnell Johnson got a tattoo in London's honor, a permanent reminder of the girl they lost, a way to keep her close. He spoke about the people accused of killing her, and his words were powerful. Harming a child, taking their life, that's beyond being a parent. That's just straight evil. Straight evil. That's what it takes to do what was done to London. Grandmother Justina Martin thinks about London constantly. She remembers the phone calls, the way London would call just to say, "I love you." No reason, no favor to ask, just love. Father Cedric Salisbury feels the emptiness every day. The empty seat at the dinner table. The silence where London's voice used to be. The phone that doesn't ring anymore. London will never graduate from high school. She'll never walk across that stage and get her diploma. She'll never go to prom in the dress she picked out. She'll never go to college. She'll never fall in love with someone who truly loves her back. She'll never have children of her own. She'll never grow old. All of that was taken from her at just 17 years old. The community has rallied around the family. Vigils were held, memorials were created. People who never met London showed up to honor her memory. Friends remember her fondly. Everyone that knows her love her, one friend said. She was so smart, so hardworking. That butterfly tattoo on London's neck, the one she was so proud of, it was supposed to symbolize transformation, beauty, freedom, the ability to change and grow and become something amazing. Now it symbolizes a life cut tragically short, a girl who never got the chance to spread her wings and fly. But London's memory lives on, in her family's hearts, in the community that fought to find her, in the investigators who never gave up, and in everyone who hears her story and vows to do better. Even with charges filed, there are still so many questions about what really happened to London Thomas.
Right. What made them do that to her?
On April 5th, 2025. What happened inside that house on Carlisle Street? Prosecutors say the relationship between London and Jalen had already ended by the time she arrived. So why was she there? Was she trying to get closure? Was she picking up her things? Did Jalen ask her to come over one last time? And if the relationship was over, did that make Jalen angry? Did he feel like he was losing control?
He already had
a decision to end things trigger something violent in him? The cause of death was asphyxia. That's a violent, intimate way to kill someone. It's not quick, it's not accidental, it requires sustained effort. It means someone physically stopped London from breathing until she died. Did Jalen kill London in a rage when she tried to leave? Did he snap when she stood her ground? And then there's Charla Pendergrass, Jalen's mother, a 49-year-old woman who allegedly helped cover up a murder. Why would a mother do that? Why would she help her son hide a body? Why would she lie to investigators? Did she know what was in the sealed plastic bin when she asked her friend to move it?
Yes,
Or
she
did
knew.
Jalen tell her it was something else? Either way, she made a choice. She chose to protect her son instead of doing the right thing. She chose loyalty over justice. That's not being a parent, that's being an accomplice. And what about the friend who moved the bin? He didn't ask questions, he just did what Charla asked. Should he face charges too?
No.
Should he have known something was wrong?
No.
When do we have a responsibility to speak
When
up?
his
When do we have
conscience
a
came
responsibility
in,
to
he
ask
called.
questions? Looking back, there were so many red flags in this case. The 6-year age gap between London and Jalen. She was 17, he was 23. That's a huge difference in life experience and power. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I genuinely
Okay, let's go
want
see
to know what you
happened
think
in
about
court
this
today.
case.
Yeah, but I need for y'all to get the likes up. I don't know if this is a new crowd, but I will end it just straight out of nowhere. Double tap the face of your phone if you're on your phone listening or watching. It is very sad. Hit the thumbs up. There's 3 dots at the top. 3 dots at the top right. Go ahead and just hit the like button so we can enjoy. And yeah, this is sad. It's sick. It's sick. But he already had some 8 charges, you know. Well, he didn't have charges. He had accusations by the same a woman for multiple occasions that he messed with that lady. Ooh, I would be trying to get to them. I ain't lying. I really would be trying to get to her. The mama. And the son. Jason. Jason, wasn't that the one who mama was helped him kill?
Case number 25-1709.
Kill her. Kill her, mommy. Kill her. Yeah, Jason Voorhees.
Case number 25-1709 and 25-1710 FY people versus Charlotte Penrose, people versus Jada.
Got it. Got it. Congrats.
Just don't believe me. I need for the ones who insist on not hitting the like button to go ahead and leave for me. Can y'all go ahead and leave if y'all can't hit the like button respectfully and unapologetically? If you cannot hit the like button, go ahead and leave. Now, that's as far as me and you can go. Is she serious? Yes. Serious than a heart attack, baby. Can't hit the like button. This is as far as me and you can go. Lord don't live here no more. Love don't live here anymore. Yeah, you passed my you passed my hour for me and you. You gotta go, boo boo. You put me out. You can't hit the like button, boo. You gotta go home. Well, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get up out of here. AunTeaFee, you play too much. I'm serious. Don't be trying to come back. The numbers had dropped. Yeah, if you can't hit the like button, go ahead and leave. Don't leave and come back. You need to double tap the face of your screen on your phone. Yeah. Double tap the face on your phone. I hit the thumbs up. I beat your feet. What they say, don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Yeah.
Case number 25-1709 and 25-1710 FY people versus Charlotte Penrose, people versus Jada.
Look at him trifling. Trifling.
And good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Terry Johnson, 70773 on behalf of Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, who is present and stands to my life.
Please record that my name is Adam Fleming, number 773.
Look at him. Looking all deranged. What? What you say? Oh, he mental. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'll waive formal reading on behalf of Ms. Pendergrass. We'd like to ask for her to plead of not guilty.
She didn't want him no more. She wasn't supposed to be dating him. He too old. Hey, Joanne. He wasn't taking his mental medicine.
These charges are very serious and have to take into consideration the fact that this matter. I'm sorry. Oh, mine. Your Honor, I'm sorry, Mr. I'm normally used to a prosecutor being in the court. My apologies, Mr. Graff.
Judge, I'd ask that there be no bond set for each defendant, or alternatively, there be high cash bond. Regarding Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass,
You don't put your mama in some mess.
However, she is charged with second-degree murder, and I think more importantly for bond purposes, this is a case where the evidence, I believe, will be abundant that both defendants, but particularly Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, engaged in a extended campaign to lie to the police, lie to law enforcement, cover up her actions. She was originally charged with lying to a police officer, which was later dismissed because the FBI agent is not a police officer in Michigan. But the point is that Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, I don't believe can be trusted to follow the orders of the court.
I don't believe her
She
either.
has shown in the past her willingness to be deceptive, to be untrustworthy, and given the serious nature of these charges and the circumstances behind the actual crime itself, I'm asking that there be no bond for Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass or.
Girl, you know you're a liar. Why you gonna tuck your lips like you can't stand hearing the truth about yourself?
I do. Your Honor, I'm just rather shocked that the prosecutor can say that my client is not.
The actual crime itself, I'm asking that there be no bond for Ms. circumstances behind the actual crime itself. I'm asking that there be no bond for Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass or alternatively a very high cash bond.
I do. Your Honor, I'm just rather shocked that the prosecutor can say that my client is not able to follow court orders. This court is aware Ms. Pendergrass was placed on a bond, high bond, and Ms. Pendergrass followed all of those bond conditions. Not a single time was there any allegations that she violated or did anything that she should not have done.
I think that he did it and told his mom, and she tried to save him.
So about 3 months ago, she's done absolutely nothing. She has nothing to hide. The problem is she didn't cooperate with the police in the matter.
Yeah, I think she is guilty. I do too, Tammy. She done called somebody to come and get the bin. It'd have been different if he would have moved the bin himself. He implemented her and she implemented somebody else. No. And then she was already arrested and let go. She gets nothing from me.
But the point is that Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, I don't believe can be trusted to follow the orders of the court. She has shown in the past her willingness to be deceptive, to be untrustworthy, and given the serious nature of these charges and the
So she ain't like hearing that she was untrustworthy.
the actual crime
You
itself,
lied and said that that girl left alive.
Very high cash bond.
I do. Your Honor, I'm just rather shocked that
She knew enough to say that she left her alive and knew that that was a lie.
able to follow court orders. This court is aware Ms. Pendergrass
Right. They went through long suffering.
There's no single time was there any allegations that she
I would
violated
listen.
or did anything that she should not have done.
To be honest, I just would have rather her not say nothing. Just play slow like your son over there playing slow. Yellow bus. Don't just outright lie. She's not trustworthy. And for her to kind of chuckle her, not wanting to hear the truth, I don't care. No, you get nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't send us on no wild goose chase. No.
Even after the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She called somebody to come move the container. So, I mean, you really involved in it. That's why I said it'll be different if her son just moved the container himself, but no. She wanted it off of her property and someplace else to just sit there. She didn't want it to start smelling.
Back in August, so about 3 months ago, she's done absolutely nothing. She has nothing to hide. The problem is she didn't cooperate with the police in a manner in which the police wanted her to cooperate. Come forward and say no cash bond, or to say no bond or a very high cash bond. She is not a flight risk. She can appear at every single court event, and
They gonna give her a bond if she done already had one and she didn't violate it.
Her actions that this court has saw, not the allegations that have been put forward.
Drop a tear or something.
The court might need to address Mr. J. under this.
And that's what I'm saying, I had just a couple of questions. Where does she work?
She's a caregiver, Your Honor.
Is someone who lives in the home?
No, Your Honor.
So she ain't got no job. $30 million bond.
What street, Your Honor?
Her or him? I don't think he got a bond. I didn't think he got one. I don't know.
I will take
Look at him. Looking like somebody on Charlie Brown. Or was it Fat Albert? Some cartoon character.
South County.
Oh, okay. Hers was 30 million. Oh, so she ain't going nowhere.
In consideration of the charges, in consideration of public safety, and I am concerned about charges of police handling evidence or allegations that it's not being cooperated with the police. The court is going to set the bond at $5 million cash. And you're not to leave the state of Michigan without this report. You do make bond, you'll be on a GPS letter. And I'll be in possession of weapons and ammunition, drugs or alcohol, and capacity. Mr. Ross has to, Mr. Taylor, please.
You ain't going nowhere.
The seriousness of the charges are severe. I would ask for no bond or very high cash bond, but if Mr. Pendergrass specifically, he again, like his mother, showed a willingness to lie to police and deceive police. But more than that, he is presently charged in Oakland County with being a false report of felony. He was originally given a pedo bond, which was reduced. And since that bond was reduced,
I mean, so he looking at the camera like he crazy.
recently been arrested under suspicion of operating.
Boy, why you didn't take your medicine?
It's my understanding he hasn't been charged with that crime, but he said police has had police contact while he's been on bond in a pending case in Oakland County. So for those reasons, Your Honor, I again ask for no bond.
He looking at the camera like,
Yes, that's what I would say on behalf of Mr. Pendergrass.
ooh,
Risk that the prosecutor brings up our client.
yeah, turn your head.
My case is, which
He crazy.
I dismissed. The reason why my client's bond was decreased. that
His ass is crazy.
So, but nonetheless, I'm in a
He gonna stare at the camera.
But I think what's important in this case is that they have taken her out of my client, was placed on house arrest
She probably didn't want to have SCX with him.
When did he ever run for law enforcement? When did he ever refuse to come in and meet with him? And it's news to me that he ever provided any false statements. I'm sure Mr. Urasi will get into some discovery to that effect. But I've never seen any of that information provided false information to law enforcement. So rather than attack a criminal history, the prosecution is asking the court to look at allegations that didn't even lead to a charge as it relates to an open lie. And that's first. And the reason for that is because my client has no submitted the prosecution wants to has been lying throughout his entire order. So to somehow suggest that his life is effect, none of that effect, suggests that he's a white person.
He definitely gonna be somebody's yeah. Oh, he better fight his ass off. What you grabbing your shirt for? Like you're a female. You doing too much talking for this. Ugh. She know he was supposed to be on medicine. Denied.
Considering the fact that this court must consider in order to set bond with any type of pre-trial release given the nature of the charges. Was Mr. Pendergrass working at or around the time of the incident? And if so, where and how long? Hey, back in April.
He wasn't allowed to work once he was charged.
He was working on somebody. Let me not say that.
And so the court's going to remand Mr. Pendergrass sitting online being the nature of the charges. And we set a probable cause conference date. Is everyone available to move in for a probable cause conference on the 22nd of October?
What time will they be around?
9 a.m.
Nigga too tiny and skinny to fight out.
October 22nd, 9 a.m. for PCC on Zoom.
On behalf of Ms. Pendergrass, Your Honor, I'm available. We'll make myself available. I may work.
All right, Mr. Rusty, you're good for that?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, and,
Oh, I understand, Your Honor, but both, once we receive discovery, hopefully I'll get it all this time. Thank you, Your Honor. Just have that brief.
Wow. Hold on, let me check out this one. What is this one? I think that's the same one.
She went missing a little over 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
She was last seen alive in Inkster with her 23-year-old boyfriend. And her cell phone last pinged her.
Oh, her hair was beautiful, too. I love that color. Oh, my God. Bless her heart. Oh, my God. Ugh. 17 years old. Her hair was pretty. Ooh. Let me see what this one say.
She went missing a little over 3 weeks ago. She was last seen alive in Inkster with her 23-year-old boyfriend, and her cell phone last pinged near a school in Westland. Her body was found on Saturday in the area of Miller and Sherman Ave in Southfield.
Oh, so he was a drunk.
I know many of you have had
Oh, so
questions
he was a
about the
drunk.
home where her body was found. I know many of you have had questions about the home where her body was found. According to reports, London's body was discovered on April the 26th.
Miller and Sherman Ave in Southfield.
I know many of you have had questions about the home where her body was found. According to reports, London's body was discovered on April the 26th, 2025, inside an SUV parked outside a home in Southfield, Michigan. Now, many people have wondered, how did London end up at this home in Southfield, Michigan, just 4 blocks from where she allegedly lived, when reports indicate that she was dropped off in Inkster, Michigan to her boyfriend's house. In addition to that, neighbors said the SUV had been sitting there for 2 weeks, but no one knows how it got there. And now we're getting some answers. Jalen Pendergrass, the man previously identified as London's boyfriend, through his attorney, although his attorney now refers to him as her ex, is speaking out through his lawyer about that home. But before I get into this latest development in the case, let me provide you with some background. London Thomas was a beautiful 17-year-old girl from Detroit, Michigan. London Thomas should have been planning her prom and graduating high school, but tragically, her life was cut short. Her family described London as someone with a big personality who loved to eat, was full of life, and was an inspiring rapper. London often took to social media to express her feelings. On February the 6th, 2023, London posted, "I'm pissed off." A friend responded, "Why?" London replied, "Pissed off because on some BS." Her friend replied, "They all is." On April the 1st, 2023, London wrote, "Treat people how you want to be treated." And later that same day, London wrote, "I be in my feelings most days, trying to stay positive, trying to get money." Then on May the 2nd, 2023, she posted, "So sick of everybody and everything, just want to die." Followed by, "People don't care until it's them. Maybe I'm just sad right now." Now, fast forward to 2025, these next social media posts were made just 52 days before London's body would be tragically found in an SUV. On March the 5th, 2025, London wrote, "And don't text me with that dumb stuff. You know what I'm talking about." Later that same day, London posted, "When I needed help and guidance, nobody was there for me. That's why I'm always standing up for the next person, because I never had nobody. But I can't hold this stuff in knowing what I know." Now, ironically, her dad did like this post that was made on March the 5th, 2025. However, we do not know when he may have liked that post, because there's no timestamp when you like a post, but he did like it. On March the 7th, 2025, London posted "Messy A-B words." Her final post from that account came later that day. It read, "I'm not no dog. When you call my phone, call mine with some respect." Now, this is where the conversation starts to shift, because many people are wondering if her parents were on her social media account. It appears that her...
Ever wondered what your home looks like from space? Enter your address and get a 360-degree satellite view of your home.
Father was on her social media account, the one who appeared on the news and who has stated that he is London's biological father. However, it does not appear from this social media account, because London did have several social media accounts, that the father was on this one, but the mother did not appear to be on this account. This account, it appeared that her father was on there. Her grandmother, who is her father's mother, would be on her account and reacted and commented on things, but I don't see her mother on this particular account. Now, it could be that her mother could have deactivated her page or anything because of what she's currently going through. Okay, so I just went through the text messages, and now we're going to get into the timeline regarding London Thomas's disappearance. Here is what we know so far. On April the 5th, 2025, according to her mother,
London Thomas went to her older sister's house to get her hair done. Later that day, her sister dropped her off at her boyfriend's house in Inkster, Michigan. Now, on April the 6th, her stepfather, Darnell Johnson, he posted on social media that London had been missing since the morning of April the 5th. He also mentioned that her phone had pinged in a strange location, which really raised concerns. Now, between April the 6th and April the 8th, London's family and friends was searching for London, focusing their efforts around the area where her phone last pinged. Her phone last pinged near Cooper Upper Elementary School on Ann Arbor Trail Road in Westland. Now, after her family had exhausted their efforts and was unable to locate London, finally, on April the 8th, her family officially reported London missing to law enforcement. Then, on April the 12th, her loved ones conducted an organized search in Westland, Michigan, still holding out hope that London would be found. Now, since her sister indicated that she had dropped London off at her boyfriend's house in Inkster, of course, the police...
Y'all, can I get 25 likes, please? Double tap the face of your phone. Just double tap it if you have not already done so. Yes, somebody just did it for me. Come on, can I get some more people to hit the that haven't already? Yeah, come on. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. So I want to keep going, but I want y'all to keep hitting, double tapping it. Don't stop just because I start back. I just need for just hit the like button.
Police zeroed in on the boyfriend after verifying that the sister had indeed dropped London off. A second raid was carried out at the same residence as the investigation intensified. Then on April the 26th, the search came to a heartbreaking end. London's body was discovered in a white SUV that neighbors said had been parked there for about 2 weeks. Now, of course, neighbors said that they don't know how the SUV got there. And when the news knocked on the door, someone came to the door and said no comment. Now, that evening on April the 26th, when London's body was found in the SUV, her body was badly decomposed and it had to be identified through dental records. But that evening, the police would make 2 arrests. The 2 people that were taken into custody was later identified as Jalen Pendergrass and his mother.
And Heath, I know you talked with that attorney, so what did he say about his client, Jalen Pendergrass, and these new charges?
That's right, Terrell. Jalen Pendergrass and his mother, Charlotte, were the 2 suspects held after the body of Detroit teen London Thomas was found. And now the lawyer defending those 2, Terry Johnson, is telling me that today's arraignment for Jalen is just a way for the charging agencies to keep his clients confined. Now, Jalen Pendergrass was in district court this morning as he was charged with filing a false police report in Novi on Friday. On Friday, Jalen, along with his mother Charlotte, were released from custody, and then just a few hours later, Charlotte Pendergrass was then rearrested and charged with lying to police officers during an investigation. Court records show that Charlotte Pendergrass bonded out, but both Charlotte and Jalen's defense attorney told me earlier today that he believes both of his clients are being unfairly treated.
The bonds were extensively high, and they were given GPS tellers because this is what Michigan State Police is asking for. They are the lead investigation agency here, and unfortunately, they have nothing. They have nothing, and what they're trying to do is gather information to come forward to charge the clients.
Now, Johnson also urged me that he believes that there should be a greater investigation into the house where London Thomas's body was found in Southfield, since he says neither of his clients have any connection to that home.
Obviously, this attorney, he is representing Jalen and his mother. Both of them are considered suspects in London Thomas' case. However, they have not officially been charged in connection to anything related to London's case. Now, the mother is currently out on bond. She bonded out, but Jalen is still in custody. Now, you just heard from the attorney, and what the attorney
Unfairly
said,
treated.
and he represents them both, he said there should be a greater investigation into the house where Thomas' body was found.
Okay,
He
this
said
must be old.
Jalen or his mother does not have connection to that residence. Somebody explained to me how a body can sit for 2 weeks, not in the street, but in a driveway of someone's house. Whose car is that? Whose house is that? Why are we not talking to these people? And why are they not under arrest? He said. With this attorney's statement, what it does confirm to us is that London Thomas' body was indeed found in the driveway. There's been speculation and talk online about if her body, the SUV, was parked maybe in a vacant lot, maybe if it was on the street, but no, it's been confirmed from the attorney that the London Thomas body unfortunately was found in the driveway. So it was a residence home. Unfortunately, how her body was found, that's important too. So according to Detroit News, they indicated that it was a tip that led them to the body. Now keep in mind, this was not from inside the home. Apparently it was someone else. So the police, Prosecutor Kim Worthy, has already said she is not going to provide any other details until they're ready, because they're not going to compromise the integrity of the case. So any details that we get at this point is going to come from the attorney or whatever information that they're willing to give. But as far as the prosecutor's office clarifying who house this is, who lived there, the vehicle, who it was registered to, the VIN number, the prosecutor Kim Worthy has already said that they are unwilling to provide any additional details. Now, Jalen's mugshot has also been released. So take a look at this mugshot. Now, I'm going to put up a comparison photo. Here's his mugshot from his current arrest. When you look at this mugshot, you will see that it says that he's expecting to be released. However, when I went and looked today, he isn't yet released. Now,
this must be old, because this is May.
Look at his mugshot in comparison to his previous photo.
Fence to obtain a GPS tether.
Oh yeah, that's old. So hold on, let me see the. Oh, it's Pendergrass. Okay. Let's see what when was this? Oh, okay. So that was 5 months ago. Okay.
He may go to court, to work, attorney visits, to school if possible, any medical appointments at all. Obviously, you can address the bond with the next judge at the probable cause conference.
So why was he still in there? Yeah. Oh, okay. He must have still been in jail. That's why they only showed the mom being arrested. Okay.
Your Honor, so I just have I guess we're done with.
But in court today, he wasn't his attorney.
Yes, I just had a question if we're off the record regarding process, but I'll leave it up to the court if you want me to just place it on the record. It's up to you. Just regarding.
Teddy Pendergrass close the door.
Every day is refreshing. Whether it's delivering an order to a friendly customer or setting up a new dispenser.
I'm assuming you would have to go to Oakland.
Yeah, so that is
Oakland County for
that's
the tether.
not the
Is that
attorney.
correct?
No. Yeah, you got somebody else. Hold on. Yeah, we can move on past that because it has since been updated. Let's see what's going on.
Welcome to the most dangerous planet in the universe. It's a beautiful place to die.
Oh. Let me go to Diddy right quick.
Music logo Sean. Music.
He back to begging Trump, and I seen some people talking about he may be getting out tomorrow because they let that guy get out today. Come on, Chronicle Speeds.
Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Shout out to Chronicle Speaks.
Every time Diddy makes a request to the judge, Judge Aaron is like, ew, to the no, to the no. So let's break down everything that just went down in Sean P.
Y'all please hit the like button.
The 50-month
Did
prison
you
term,
say
what
Diddy?
he tried
Now
to
they
request and why
say
the judge told him
they
no.
say
So
he
we
may
all
be
know the
getting
judge-
out. He may get pardoned since they saw. I'm assuming because they saw that Trump let that commuted that guy's George Santos record. So that fool know he had already told him no. So I don't even know why they jumping on that. I don't know. Willie D be tripping. Willie D said he wasn't he gonna be out a long time ago. But unless Trump done already said no. No.
of New York officially sentenced Diddy to 50 months in federal prison. That's 4 years and 2 months. This is official. The judgment has been filed and he's now remanded into federal custody. That means no waiting at home, no more bail, no halfway houses. He is officially going in. It's officially can't stop, won't stop. But here's where things get interesting. Diddy actually made a special request during sentencing. He wanted to serve his time at Fort Dix, that's D-I-X, Federal Correction Institution.
More than one.
Now, if you don't know,
Trump
Fort
ain't
Dix
about
is
to
one
let
of the
him
better,
out.
low security
the Department
federal
of Justice is already
It's
told.
cleaner, it has more open space.
No, they don't
and
want
it is known
that
for offering
on
more
them.
educational programs. In other words, it's one of the more comfortable spots to do federal time.
Right.
But they're obviously not concerned about Diddy's comfortability because Judge Subramanian said hell to the no. And here's why. Fort Dix is already overcrowded and the judge didn't want to give Diddy special treatment or place him somewhere that might give him easier access to outside communication or privileges.
Right.
The judge made it clear that Diddy will not be assigned based on personal preference. Instead, he'll be assigned based on ability and security needs. Translation, Diddy doesn't get to pick his own prison. The Bureau of Prison decides where he goes, likely somewhere near New York, but not necessarily Fort Dix. So it's not time for Diddy to be moping and groping and hanging that bottom lip just yet. Although the judge did deny the Fort Dix request, he did recommend that Diddy be placed as close to the New York area as possible and that he be considered for the Residential Drug Abuse Program, also known as REDAP. Now, this is actually a huge deal because REDAP is one of the only programs in the federal system that can actually reduce your sentence. If Diddy qualifies and completes it successfully, it could knock up to a full year off his time, but eligibility depends on having a documented history of substance abuse, which he checks there. So it's not guaranteed, but the Bureau of Prisons makes that call, not the judge. Now let's talk about what he'll really serve. Now Diddy got 50 months, but he's already spent about a year locked up waiting for his sentencing. Now under federal law, that year counts towards his time. So 50 months minus 12 months is about 38 months left. So from there, he can also earn good behavior credit, which can take off about another 7 to 8 months. And if he gets accepted into the REDAP program and completes it successfully, that's up to 12 months off. So in total, he could be out in roughly 18 to 20 months, about a year and a half from now, meaning if all goes right for Diddy, he could walk out sometime in mid to late 2027. So now let's get into the forfeitures, because this is the part where the money and the punishment actually meet. The court ordered Diddy to forfeit all property and assets tied to count 3 and count 5 of his indictment. The judgment specifically says all property used or intended to be used to commit or facilitate the crime. So that includes anything connected to the criminal activity. Bank accounts, property, cars, devices, business interests, all of that. It all played a role and it's all gone. The October 3rd forfeiture order made it official. The government can now seize or sell those items under federal law. When Diddy gets out, it doesn't just end there. Diddy will be on strict supervised release, and the conditions are no joke. Diddy must not commit another federal, state, or local crime. He must not unlawfully possess a controlled substance. He must refrain from the unlawful use of a controlled substance. He must submit to drug testing within 15 days of his release and at least 2 periodic drug testings thereafter as determined by the court. He must cooperate in the collection of DNA as directed by the probation officer. Now, I forgot to mention his probation time is 5 years, and you already know you cannot get in trouble. You can't even sneeze the wrong way within those 5 years. He must also report to the probation office in the federal judicial district where you are authorized to reside within 72 hours of your release from imprisonment unless the probation officer instructs you to report to a different probation office or within a different time frame. After initially reporting to the probation office, you will receive instructions from the court or the probation officer about how and when you must report to the probation officer, and you must report to the probation officer as instructed. You must not knowingly leave the federal judicial district where you are authorized to reside without first getting permission from the court or the probation officer. You know, Diddy likes to hop on that jet and go wherever he wants. This is going to be a problem. You must answer truthfully the questions asked by your probation officer. You must live at a place approved by the probation officer. If you plan to change where you live or anything about your living arrangements, such as the people who live with you, you must notify the probation officer at least 10 days before the change.
You can't
if notifying the
put
probation
nothing
officer
past
in
time.
advance is not possible
That's true.
due to the unanticipated circumstances, you must notify the probation officer within 72 hours of becoming aware of a change or expected change. You must allow the probation officer to visit you at any time at your home or elsewhere, and you must permit the probation officer to take any items prohibited by the conditions of your supervision that he or she may observe in
I don't know why they not telling this man he gonna have to register
30 hours per week at a lawful type of employment unless the probation officer excuses you from doing so. If you do not have full-time employment, you must try to find full-time employment unless the probation officer excuses you from doing so. If you plan to change your work or anything about your work, such as your position or your job responsibilities,
I'm gonna tell you now,
must
if
notify
he
the probation officer at least 10
anything
days
sex,
before the change. If notifying the probation officer at least 10 days in advance is not possible due to unexpected circumstances, you must notify the probation officer within 72 hours of becoming aware of a change or expected change. You must not communicate or interact
now he probably
with
gonna
someone
do
you
it
know is engaged
for
in
Maxwell.
criminal activity. If you know someone has been convicted of a felony, you must not knowingly communicate or interact with that person without first getting the permission of the probation officer. If you are arrested or questioned by a law enforcement officer,
gonna tap
you must
ass.
notify the probation
They gonna
officer within
pizzazz.
72
They gonna
hours. You must
tap
not
that
own, possess, or
pizzazz.
have any access to a firearm, ammunition, destructive device, or dangerous weapon, i.e. anything that was designed or was modified for the specific purpose of causing bodily injury or death to another person, such as nunchucks or lasers. You must not act or make any agreement with the law enforcement agency to act as a confidential human source or informant without first getting the permission of the court. You must follow the instructions of the probation officer related to the conditions of supervision. You must submit to a search of your person, property, residence, office, vehicle, papers, computers, as defined by the 18 U.S.C. Code, cell phones, and other
And you mean they
devices
didn't tell him in there that he have to register as a sex offender?
Cloud storage, or network. So let's move down to the next one. The probation officer may conduct a search under this condition only when there is reasonable suspicion that you have violated a condition of your supervision or committed a new crime, and that the areas to be searched contain evidence of this violation or crime. The search must be conducted by a United States probation officer, although other law enforcement officers may assist the probation officer. The search must be conducted at a reasonable time and in reasonable manner. Failure to submit to a search may be grounds of revocation of release. You must warn any other occupants that the premise may be subject to searches pursuant to this condition. You must not have contact with the victims in this case. This includes any physical, visual, written, or telephonic contact with such persons. Additionally, you must not directly cause or encourage anyone else to have such contact with the victims. You must provide the probation officer with access to any requested financial information. You must not incur any new credit card charges or open additional lines of credit without the approval of the probation officer unless you are in compliance with the installment payment schedule. You will participate in an outpatient treatment program approved by the United States Probation Office, which program may include testing to determine whether you have reverted to using drugs or alcohol. You must contribute to the cost of services rendered based on your ability to pay and the availability of third-party payments. The court authorizes the release of available drug treatment evaluation and reports, including the pre-sentence investigation report, to the substance use disorder treatment provider. You must participate in an outpatient mental health treatment program approved by the United States Probation Office. You must continue to take any prescribed medication unless otherwise instructed by your healthcare provider. He's not gonna make it. Cost of services rendered based on your ability to pay and the availability of third-party payments. The court authorizes the release of available psychological and psychiatric evaluation and reports, including the pre-sentence investigation report, to the healthcare provider. You must participate in an approved program for domestic violence. It is recommended that you be supervised by the district of residence.
Wait a minute, healthcare?
$200 and a fine of $500,000, which has to be paid in the next 60 days. And the last check part here talks about the forfeiture. So count 3 and 5 in assessment of $200.
Why does healthcare have to be in his
investigation report?
Hold on. Oh, because of the drugs. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm finna say, I ain't never heard, you know, you gotta be healthy.
You must contribute to the cost of services rendered based on your ability to pay and the availability of third-party payments. The court authorizes the release of available psychological and psychiatric evaluation reports, including the pre-sentence investigation report, to the healthcare provider. You must participate in an approved program for domestic violence. It is recommended that you be supervised by the district of residence. Diddy has an assessment of $200 and a fine of $500,000, which has to be paid in the next 60 days. And the last check part here talks about the forfeiture. So count 3 and 5 in Diddy's federal case are the sex trafficking and money laundering counts, the most serious parts of his indictment. Part 3 accused him of coercing and transporting victims across state lines for illegal sexual activity, while Count 5 charged him with moving and hiding money connected to that criminal conduct through his companies and accounts. And because those crimes involved using property, money, and business resources to commit or conceal illegal acts, the court ordered a forfeiture, meaning the government can seize anything used or gained from the crimes. That can include homes or studios where the acts occurred, vehicles or jets used to transport victims, bank accounts that move the money, phones, hard drives, and even business assets that help facilitate these offenses. So with Diddy having this 5-year probation, every move will be monitored, and even one slip, like a failed drug test, missed meeting, or unauthorized trip, could send him right back to federal prison. So while it sounds like he does have freedom, or he will have freedom after those 5 years, those 5 years will come with very little room for error. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on in the world?
Okay, so I don't know why it's not on his paperwork. I don't know if he's already been told, but I know I checked before, and it said the attorney, his attorney, I'm gonna tell you what it says, because I don't know why it's not generating now on his paperwork. That's the part I don't get. Let me see. Okay, so it's been updated. It's been updated. So it says following his October 25 sentencing, Sean Diddy Combs was not required to register as a sex offender. So it's changed. Because I know last week or the week before I showed y'all where it said he would have to register, and it said that his attorneys had registered him the day after his sentencing. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, so I guess what is this? I'm reading something. But it did say that before this came out. I'm shocked. I thought that I thought so too. But they're saying that it wasn't checked. Now, last week, it said here that he would have to register as a sex offender. And it also said that his lawyers had registered him, his first register, right after his sentencing. But now it's saying that it wasn't checked. But I'm almost positive he gonna have to register as a sex offender. Okay, let me get to Enoch. Before I go. Enoch. Let me find it right quick. Yep. It's just ain't no way he not gonna have to register. I'm sure he just forgot to check it, but we gonna wait and see. The registration as a sex and other mandatory conditions. Hold on. Enoch. For the brother who asked me about Enoch, I may need to wait. Yeah, I'll take it off and I will. I'm sleepy. I ain't gonna even lie. And it's 12:44. I'll do Enoch because I don't think he's here. And I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, y'all. I'm finna go. That's sad about this kid. Y'all, if you did not, let me see something. Hold on. I thought that you are supposed to register, and it said it last week, but today it's not saying it. Hold on. I'm trying to see what it said about Trump. Trying to hear. Let me hear this. Let's hear this. Let's hear why they saying it. Why they saying that Diddy may be pardoned tomorrow.
It's Friday!
I ain't never listened to this guy before, so I don't.
And then for some other people, it's also Saturday morning. Welcome to the weekend, no matter what time zone you're in. What the heck is going on? Here's the question of the day. Oh yeah, y'all know what time it is.
Oh, shout out to whoever this is.
Presidential pardon, new reports claim. Okay. All right, in our first
Trenton.
behind the feed and off the record story, our only one today.
Shout out to him.
Let's get into why most of you are here. Diddy could be released within 48 hours if Trump grants a presidential pardon, new reports claim. Okay, now, I was a little hesitant about doing this
the TMZ
story
said
today.
Let me check TMZ.
Well, I was a little hesitant because I've been telling you guys since last November that Donald Trump may pardon Diddy and Diddy's team was talking to Donald Trump. From back then, you guys were like, no, that's not true, you're just talking, blah, blah, that's not true. As the case went on, and Nicole Westmoreland, one of Diddy's lawyer, came out 2 or 3 months ago and said, we are talking to Donald Trump. A lot of you were like, all right, Trent,
and he said
I'll
no.
give you your props. Then 2 or 3 weeks ago, right after sentencing, I was like, it's close, they're in negotiations. And of course, again, some of you dragged me in the comment section. So, which brings us to today. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to wait for it to happen. But shout out to the Jasmine brand. This is a journalist who I know. She works with Angela Yee. Angela Yee used to be a co-host of The Breakfast Club, all right? So this is a journalist, legitimate source. So y'all can't say that this is me, and my sources kind of speculating, all right? So I put this up already beside me. You guys can see it's the Jasmine brand. Go on Instagram. You can see this. I'm going to read verbatim what Jasmine from the Jasmine brand, and by the way, shout out to Jasmine for putting this out there.
This dude is just talking about.
It's risky to put this story out there,
the
but
side of his neck.
shout out to her.
Yeah, that's why I'm not putting it on
I'm gonna read
him.
what she wrote. Then I'm gonna go back to some of the things I told you guys 2 weeks ago, and I hope it brings it all together, and you guys are not surprised if you wake up tomorrow morning and you see Diddy being released, and y'all just remember that I told you so, okay?
Okay,
now,
let me go to Willie D, because that's where I saw it. I don't know this cat, but Willie D be off too. Yeah,
The requirements include mandatory participation in a domestic violence program. He also won't be allowed to contact any of the victims in the case or, quote, encourage anyone else to contact them.
Sean Diddy Combs is now finding some release conditions, and you might be shocked. Is finally Sean Diddy Combs going to be released?
Property.
Well, everything seems to be moving that way.
Okay,
Whatever
well,
happens next, right now, Sean Diddy Combs is negotiating some release conditions. And if these all come through successfully, then definitely Sean Diddy Combs might no longer be in custody anymore. A proven criminal, free just like that? A man already sentenced by court, now moving toward a release condition that could set him free without full prison time, instead with some treatment and high life excuses? A lot of questions are rising, and you'll find all
so
the
they're
answers
saying because
in this
he got
video.
these
But
conditions,
recent
he may
reports
be
have shocked
about to get
everyone. Sean Diddy Combs is now officially under review for early release conditions.
Race music mogul will be under a supervised release for 5 years after he gets out from behind bars. The requirements include mandatory participation in a domestic violence program. He also won't be allowed to contact any of the victims in the case or, quote, encourage anyone else to contact them. This all comes as Diddy is currently serving a 4-year prison sentence at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. What else are we learning about the conditions of Sean Combs' release? And is this all pretty par for the course, pretty standard?
Yeah, so look, a lot of these conditions sound pretty harsh, but they're pretty standard. Things, as you mentioned, like no contact with victims, also no contact with other criminals, no access to firearms, also unsupervised, or visits, drop-in visits from probation officers at any time.
OSTI 33.
So many of these are standard. But what I do think is notable is the addition of required treatment programs.
Yeah.
And it's not just one, right? It is domestic violence, but
so I don't know why they
hopping
on this.
mental health.
Other than because old boy was pardoned
the
today.
defense described this as a modern love story. And even though Combs was acquitted of the most egregious charges, it's really a message from the court saying there's really still something that is not right here. There's treatment that is required. There's issues that need to be resolved.
According to the latest official court updates, Diddy's current 50-month federal sentence comes with strict supervision, probation, and forfeiture conditions. But insiders say his legal team is now working on modifying his custody terms. The judge rejected his request to choose a comfortable facility at Fort Dix in New Jersey, saying there will be no VIP treatment, and that the Bureau of Prisons alone will decide where he serves his time. However, recent filings indicate that Diddy is being considered for a residential reentry program, which allows certain inmates to transition into community confinement, halfway houses, or supervised home programs under treatment and behavioral conditions. If this motion is accepted,
that ain't
he can
gonna
spend
do
the
nothing.
rest of his
But
sentence
listen,
outside prison
he
walls,
crazy
under
if
tight
he
probation
do, because
and
today
psychological.
It came out that the king had to resign from being the Duke of wherever he from. Is it England? Yeah, he had to surrender his title. So, because more evidence is coming out, it's seeping out. George Santos wasn't pardoned either. Well, I know it's not a pardon. His time was, what was it? What is the word? Commuted. Yeah. His time was commuted. So it'll still be on his record. So if he mess up again, it'll still be there. He'll be a convicted felon. Commuted, yeah. But Sean, and that's probably what he's gonna do for Ghislaine Maxwell. He'll do it for her before he do it for Diddy. But right now, it ain't the time for him to do it for nobody, because Prince Andrew today, he had to resign his title of Duke of York because more stuff is coming out. Yeah, let me end on that. Y'all hit the like button.
Is set to give up all of his titles, including that of Duke of York. The CBC's Hillary Johnstone is on the story. So, Hillary, what do we know?
Yeah.
After these reports just breaking in the last couple of.
Yeah. So if he gonna give, right now would not be the time for Trump to even entertain it.
Minutes. The Telegraph.
More stuff is coming out. Remember, they got emails from King Charles that has been leaked. So right now would not be a good time for him to try to pardon or play with antibody. It won't let me send it there. Yeah, so let me bring this over here.
I lost 110 pounds. Couldn't tell it all because of my excess skin. So Novella changed that.
We are tracking breaking news coming.
Okay, hold on. I'm finna bring it over here. Yeah, so it just wouldn't be a good time for him to touch anything about no sex. Anything to have anything to say about sex, trafficking, kids, abuse, none of that. The judge done already told him he overstepping his boundaries. So to release him, okay. You ain't doing nothing. I can't wait. Yeah, here you go. So he had to surrender.
From the UK, Prince Andrew is set to give up all of his titles, and we are tracking breaking news coming from the UK. Prince Andrew is set to give up all of his titles, including that of Duke of York. The CBC's Hillary Johnstone is on the story. So, Hillary, what do we know?
Andrew, these reports just breaking in the last couple of minutes. The Telegraph newspaper was the first in the United Kingdom to break this news, and now we have a statement that we can share with you from Prince Andrew, which has been released directly from Buckingham Palace. So let's go through that statement, and then we'll talk about the backstory, how it is that we have gotten here, that Prince Andrew will be no longer having that title of the Duke of York. So let's go through that statement. It says, in discussion with the King and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and my country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. This statement goes on to say, with His Majesty's agreement, we feel I must now go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or the honors which have been conferred upon me. As I have said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. And of course, those accusations being the ones that have followed him for a number of years now about his relationship with the disgraced financier, Jeffrey Epstein. So let's go through a little bit more about what we know at this point. Of course, all of this just breaking in the past couple of minutes. A lot of the reports.
Yeah, Trump better leave all of that alone.
Andrew, which has been released directly from Buckingham Palace. So let's go through that statement, and then we'll talk about the backstory, how it is that we have gotten here, that Prince Andrew will be no longer having that title of the Duke of York. So let's go through that statement. It says, in discussion with the King and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distract from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and my country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. This statement goes on to say, with His Majesty's agreement, we feel I must now go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or the honors which have been conferred upon me. As I have said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. And of course, those accusations...
No, it's not. No, it's not. Who is that? Lisa, no, it's not. Boo-boo, that was 10 hours ago. No, ma'am. This is new. Title strip. Where you been? Lisa. Precious. 10 hours. Hold on. Yeah, don't come over here telling me my news is old. You lying to me? 53 minutes. Where you been? I accept apologies. No, it's not old news. So take that out. Retract that, because it's not old news. Can you retract that, please? Lisa. Can you retract that, please? Talking about this old news. No, ma'am. Volumes of emails. Where you been, boo? Where you been? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Volumes of emails between Jeffrey Epstein and the Duke has been leaked. Like I said, retract that or I will remove you.
It's breaking tonight. Prince Andrew
is
giving up all of his titles, including the Duke of York. It follows a string of scandals surrounding his relationship with paedophile Jeffrey Epstein and his relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. But of course, he will remain a prince, as this remains his birthright. The Duke's ex-wife, Sara, Duchess of York, will also lose her title and will be known as Sarah Ferguson. And tonight, Prince Andrew.
His wife? She gets stripped. Oh my God. She gets stripped too? Oh, now see, that's why the other day, y'all, he had those new scratches and stuff on his face, and I said, she whipped her ass, didn't she? She whooped that ass, so she lose her title too.
Prince Andrew is giving up all of his titles, including the Duke of York. It follows a string of scandals surrounding his relationship with paedophile Jeffrey Epstein and his relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. But of course, he will remain a prince, as this remains his birthright. The Duke's ex-wife, Sara, Duchess of York, will also lose her title and will be known as Sarah Ferguson. And tonight, Prince Andrew issued the following statement. He said, in discussion with the King, who is of course his brother, and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distracts from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I...
Girl, now how you gonna tell me to settle down on my platform? Lisa, go ahead and leave today. Go ahead and leave today. Don't tell me to settle down because you came in here lying and not informed. Don't tell me to settle down. Boo, you done lost your mind. it don't ever get that good that you tell me to settle down because you came in here uninformed. Come back another day, and when you come back, please apologize. Don't ever tell me to settle down. Have you lost your mind? Yeah. Support the platform. Get the likes up. Don't you ever tell me to settle down. You're crazy as hell.
Breaking tonight, Prince Andrew is giving up all of his titles, including the Duke of York. It follows a string of scandals surrounding his relationship with paedophile Jeffrey Epstein and his relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. But of course, he will remain a prince, as this remains his birthright. The Duke's ex-wife, Sara, Duchess of York, will also lose her title and will be known as Sarah Ferguson. And tonight, Prince Andrew issued the following statement. He said,
okay, bye.
With the King,
bye, OT13 or whatever.
And my immediate
you get your ass up out of here forever.
Continued accusations about me distracts from the work of His Majesty.
OTS33.
I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and country first.
Who is Lisa? Who you think Lisa is? Sly, I can guess who Lisa is. Who is Lisa? Because I'm real close to blocking Lisa forever. Yeah, so don't come up in here under no alias if you are normally somebody else. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, well, let me go on. I was trying to be nice. Yeah, but that OST33, yeah. 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 They out of here. My Jesus, come. No, goodbye.
I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. With His Majesty's agreement, we as Sarah Ferguson, and tonight Prince Andrew issued the following statement. He said, in discussion with the King, who is of course his brother, and my immediate and wider family, we have concluded the continued accusations about me distracts from the work of His Majesty and the royal family. I have decided, as I always have, to put my duty to my family and country first. I stand by my decision 5 years ago to stand back from public life. With His Majesty's agreement, we feel I must now go a step further. I will therefore no longer use my title or the honours which have been conferred upon me. As I have said previously, I vigorously deny the accusations against me. Well, joining me now exclusively on GB News, world-renowned interviewer Daphne Barrack, who's interviewed heads of state, Hollywood stars, and broke the emails of Fergie and Prince Andrew to Epstein. Daphne, great to see you again. Well, it's a very big day in the life of Prince Andrew, as he now is. Yeah, your reaction to this news, and frankly, the part that you've...
Oh, hold on.
Okay, work with me. All that meal prep for what? Not much.
This news, and frankly, the part that you've played in this.
I'm actually very sad, Bess, I have to say. I don't understand how people confuse between when they're entitled. It doesn't give you privileges.
When you're entitled.
And if you and I lied publicly on television, oh my gosh, let alone sad, Bess, I have to say. I don't understand how people confuse between when they're entitled. It doesn't give you privileges. It gives you obligations. And if you and I lied publicly on television, oh my gosh, let alone a duke and a duchess, right? And Sara has been confiding me for years. We had so many private conversations. That really brought tears to my eyes. And just right afterward, I have to say, I have known about emails between them and Epstein for a while.
Oh.
So the Sun on Sunday and the Daily Mail, we are a great team, as you know. We were working on it for a while. Paramount, which is my television deals, joined Channel 5 in your country. We became a great deal, and I did confront Sara. I did say to her, she called me to complain about the book, of Andrew Loney, and she was very upset that HarperCollins went against her. And I said, it didn't go against you. They have many imprints. They had your book, they have his book. And she said, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Would you print it? And I said, no, I'm not going to do your dirty laundry. And I said, the book is not your problem, Sara. It's not your biggest problem. You have emails coming out. We talked on the phone at length. I walked her through and I said, your name appears in emails, but some emails are written by you. And I was expecting for somebody who I've spent so many hours and supported her during cancer when nobody knew
they say
I would expect her to tell me the truth. We're talking about
600 Republicans.
Pedophile on
they say is up in there.
Told the public, and your ex-husband told the public, you cut any relations. And when I got the phone call, I would never forget it. It was a Wednesday night that
Sara in there too.
Here's the emails between Sara and Epstein after she lied to the public that
Sara, his wife, is in. Oh my God. Sara have emails with Epstein too? Oh hell no. I missed that. Oh Lord. That woman had that Lisa chick had me all off. I missed. So Sara, his wife, has emails between her and Epstein too. Lord, listen with your good ear.
At length, I walked her through and I said, your name appears in emails, but some emails are written by you. And I was expecting for somebody who I've spent so many hours and
y'all please hit the like button.
During cancer when nobody knew she had cancer, I was expecting her to tell me the truth. We're talking about relationship with one of the worst pedophiles on earth. After you told the public and your ex-husband told the public, you cut any relations. And when I got the phone call, I would never forget it. It was a Wednesday night that we unearthed the emails between Sara and Epstein after she lied to the public that she cut any connection with him. I was crying. I couldn't believe this email to say like, oh my God, I needed to save my career with children charity and children books. You're saying it to a pedophile? Oh gosh. And then of course, everybody knew that we have more. And we did unearth the email between Andrew and him. This was a day after the photo with Virginia Giuffre was published on the Mail on Sunday. And it was difficult. Virginia did trust me, despite the fact that I conducted the only interview with Ghislaine Maxwell in jail and they were enemies. Besides the fact that she knew that Sara and I have been in constant contact, she did trust me. I was devastated when she died. But Virginia did not bring Andrew down. There's nothing new in the book. I'm very glad the book is out because she's like talking from the grave, but there's nothing new in the book. The reason that he went down, there was a phone call from the palace to my papers. They wanted to ask if Daphne has more, which we do have more, and you'll see it. And they just said already yesterday that all options will be taken. So it wasn't a surprise for us. The reason that Andrew and Sara lost everything, because they brought it on themselves. They lied to the public. Why?
We're living in a time of what feels like pretty significant social change, and it makes us question things that we've even taken for granted for decades. And one of those at the moment that people are wondering about is actually money. Is the money in your bank account safe? Should you be investing elsewhere? Are we looking at a potential global crash? What will it mean for your savings?
The pound is above 11% per annum over the last 25 years on average.
Oh, that was good. Are they finished? Oh, okay.
What can we expect?
Oh, Sara has emailed Epstein. Lord, I was not expecting that one. Come on.
What can we expect, Daphne? Can you give us an idea of what more might come out? How damaging will it be for both of them?
We never say what's coming. When after Fergie, everybody thought, are we going to unearth more Fergie emails? They are, but we actually unearth Andrew. We never say what's coming next. There are things coming next, and not what people think. But I have to tell you, I am sharing with you that there was a volume of emails between them. There were not one or two or three. There were volumes of emails between them. It was a very hectic traffic there. And the relationship was much more tight. So again, it's a very sad day. I would think with people with such background and entitlement, you would just think that they would not lie to the public. And I'm talking about her giving an interview to the Evening Standard front page, and him looking at BBC cameras, and they both say we cut any contacts with him. I frankly cannot understand that. As my friend Susan Zerinsky from CBS, which
what is that?
Her, of course, in many specials, says to me always, Daphne, when you send an email or send a text, it can be tomorrow the front page of a paper. And here we go.
What have you gave that woman? What in the world is this? Are they sick?
So in their case,
let me back up. I may be too close.
Or just a sense of being untouchable and invincible, and that somebody would always cover their backs.
So smart of you, Bess, because one thing we forget when we started to think about it, we're talking about 2011.
Negative Botox.
Right? He was still a trade ambassador for UK, right? Very,
baby, that looked like that was peeling. Like you could just yank that skin out.
There's no doubt, right? So I think at that point, if you told him, Bess, that in 2019, 8 years later, he would be stripped from his title, he would look at you laughing, right? And Sara, of course, was with him. I mean, there were many scandals that Sara basically reinvented herself out.
Oh, Lord.
So I think at that point he felt invincible. And I think
let me make sure I put some moisturizer or something on my face. Oh, my God.
A few hours after the photo with Virginia Giuffre, he didn't say A. I didn't believe when I saw the email at the beginning. He sent A,
I am too outdone.
KG. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, like there was not even an attempt to hide it. So why do they lie?
Talking about he don't know how she got that picture.
He did that. My question is to you, Bess. Going 8 years later, looking at Emily, which did a great job in Newsnight, and telling her, no, I ceased any contact with him after I saw him in New York in December 2010, well, she must have remembered that he sent these emails. This is not the only email. I can't understand it.
She said there's volumes of emails.
I could talk to you all night, but unfortunately, we're out of time. But we will have you back on very soon. There's no way that this is going away, and if it wasn't for you, the public would not be aware of a lot of this. So,
so she leaking it. She's the leaker.
I'm sorry to contradict, Liz, but Donald Trump has been my friend since I'm 20, and I applaud him for the peace in Gaza. Thank you for bringing the 20 hostages back. And I know he will do anything to get peace. However, Epstein is not going away. Epstein is talking from the grave. He knows that Donald is a very smart man. And as a Congress here, everybody's unearthing, and everybody's calling, including his own base, for any revelation about Epstein.
She's saying, hold up though. She said, I've been knowing him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We greatly appreciate you, but it ain't going nowhere. She said, but it ain't going nowhere. Y'all get the likes up. We finna be finished. Double tap your screen. She said, thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate it, but it ain't going nowhere. Hey, Ronna, it ain't going nowhere. You might as well come on clean.
Right, but unfortunately,
and now she leaking it.
We will have you back.
She the one that's leaking it.
This is going away, and if it wasn't for you, the public would not be aware of a lot of this. So, thank you.
Can I say one last thing, Beth? I'm sorry to contradict Liz, but Donald Trump has been my friend since I'm 20. And I applaud him for the peace in Gaza. Thank you for bringing the 20 hostages back. And I know he will do anything to get peace. However, Epstein is not going away. Epstein is talking from the grave. He knows that Donald is a very smart man. And as a Congress here, everybody's unearthing and everybody's calling, including his own base, for any revelation about Epstein. So I don't agree with Liz. This is not the end of the story. I mean, whatever you don't unearth about Jeffrey Epstein, the Democrats in America and MAGA, his base wants more, M-O-R-E.
She ain't going nowhere, y'all.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. Definitely great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
She said, he's my friend. I've been knowing him since I was 20. But Donnie boy, ain't nobody going nowhere. And hell, she leaking the information for as far as Andrew. Hell, and did we even know Sara? I know I didn't. I mean, that's tea, ain't it? Now that was tea. He got a freaky ass wife. Wow.
Andrew has no choice this time. He really is in a corner, and he really has to do.
Yeah, it's coming. Telling on Donnie
is expected of him, and that he has to fall on his sword, and he has to comply.
Telling on Donnie without telling on him,
regardless of what he might feel inside, or regardless of whether he is.
She want him to do it.
He has to comply.
But she's telling me it ain't going nowhere.
No choice.
She already leaking
when there's
stuff.
No choice. You step back. I think that Andrew is always been too entitled. He's too. He's attracted to, as his father said, seedy billionaires. He doesn't have the strength of character to deal with these kind of people, and I think basically he's turned out to be a complete disaster. As far as I can see at the moment, Andrew has no future. The only future he has is a future that will be of his own making. And if he was perhaps prepared to be more humble and say, look, I have made a complete mess of my life, and I had more opportunities than anyone probably in this world will ever have.
Entitled nasty ass men.
And I've really messed up.
I think having to face,
go and
their
farm
karma.
and go and make something good out of my life, and go and create something quietly and away from the public eye. That's really the only thing that he could do, I think. Sitting in Royal Lodge watching television and riding around the Windsor estate is not going to get him anywhere. He has to make the decision, say, right, I've messed up and I'm going to try and mend my life. Because there's many, many people before him that have done so. There's been so much news in the last 48 hours, all of it pertaining to Prince Andrew. And we realize, everyone knows that every time...
She gonna come in here telling me it's old.
Somehow...
Oh, girl, you better go on.
And however arrogant and regal Prince Andrew might be, he's totally aware that it is damaging to his brother, the king. And it is. And so
Andrew, go ahead and start singing. Yeah, he better find him a song, a freedom song.
We're both under pressure. And also the rest of the royal family,
that's Fergie, ain't it?
Stood by Andrew as a family would when someone's in a lot of trouble. And they obviously talked about it. Apparently, they all talked about it together. And
wait till all the dirt come out. Oh my God, they said 600.
Relinquish his titles himself rather than be pushed.
It's been going on for a while. Blackmail.
And presumably Andrew knows too that this is not the end of it. This is going to go on, and it's going to be a drip feed, and it is damaging to the monarchy. It is damaging to his brother, and Andrew's always said,
"Oh, Pope Prince, Prince Prince,
to have the life that he has, and the titles and everything.
Absolutely.
And I think there was
all that lying.
But for him to fall on his sword, and I think that
she said, "Fall on your sword."
The king allowed him to look at least honourable in this one instance. If Charles had said, "Right, you've got to go," and Andrew had fought against it, it would have looked terrible. So I think he had to do the honourable thing and fall on his sword.
Because Charles
thing is,
and Andrew got
that he's only
emails talking about it.
Abeyance. And at the end of the statement, he reiterated that he very much felt that he was still not his words, these are my words, he was still the innocent party, and he was still denying the fact that he ever abused Virginia.
He's the innocent party.
He didn't say it in those words, but
just
that
lying.
was the message. So even after all this and the latest Epstein email, which has really made all this happen, he's still saying, that I am an innocent, and I think that he obviously believes that in his own mind, and I think that his, most of his family probably believe it. So, and they know more than we do, but they could also see that he was incredibly damaging to the monarchy. And if you read the comments
and his Sara,
he is despised.
Oh, they had a whole family affair.
His brother, the king, because it made King Charles look weak. I mean, people were saying, why can't the king do something about it? He's the king, after all. He and this is his younger brother. He has to be the one to take the stand. But because Charles is a very honourable and kind man, he made it look as if it was Andrew's decision. Now, we will probably, maybe we will know whose decision it was, but I don't think that Charles would have had to push Andrew too hard to make him make this decision. I don't think Andrew for one moment is happy with this, because he values titles and honours, especially the Order of the Garter. He values them so much, as we have seen. And he's never shy to, even in that last email to Epstein, when he said, we're in this together.
Now he got his own dirt now.
And then, the night
with
of
Diana.
The Garter.
Honorable, wait a minute.
And he likes people who respect him.
I was kind of delayed on that. Wait, what?
Yes. And I think that Charles is being kind to him by making it appear that it's all him. And I believe
we remember Diana
had something,
and that
had an
that old lady
as a potentially. He said,
ain't that over there?
He signed himself off, Duke of York.
Oh, is that the daddy?
The Knight of the Order of the Garter. So he likes a title, and he likes people to respect him for who he is, and he's made that very plain over the years. And I think that Charles is being kind to him by making it appear that it's all him. And I believe that Prince William had something, had an involvement in this, as he would, as a, potentially, hopefully, a future monarch. So it's quite serious stuff. But in the end, Andrew hasn't actually lost these titles. They've been put into abeyance, which is quite a clever way around all this. But I think once you've lied about something once, the consensus of opinion is that you've lied about everything.
Absolutely, especially when you done got caught.
They've been put into abeyance, which is quite a clever way around all this. But I think once you've lied about something once, the consensus of opinion is that you've lied about everything. So we probably don't believe a word that Prince Andrew says.
Absolutely.
And that is what's important. He is a man without honor, without reputation.
No honor.
And therefore he is damaging to his brother king.
Oh, he got a reputation. It just ain't honorable. You know what I mean? Oh, he got a reputation, all right. Okay, y'all, good night. Good night, good night. That was good tea. Okay. Until next time.